Another story, all new at 5. A tax levy to help support the Cincinnati Zoo will be on the ballot sometime this year, but it may only be a renewal of an existing levy. Zoo officials tonight say they need an increase to keep up with inflation and rising expenses. Not on your sides, Tom McKee is live in Avondale to explain the situation. Tom.
Well, that recommendation for a renewal only came from the Tax Levy Review Committee today. That keeps taxpayer funding for the zoo around $6.5 million a year, or that would keep it at that level. But the zoo says adding in inflationary costs would bring in an extra $2 million, which they really could use. Commissioners, well, it's up to them to make the final decision. Baby hippo Fiona brought lots of attention and visitors to the Cincinnati Zoo, but she alone can't pay the $37 million annual budget. Taxpayers have helped for 35 years, and that will continue, but the amount is up in the air. Hamilton County's Tax Review Committee Chair Gwen McFarland made this recommendation Monday to county commissioners.
The subcommittee and the TLRC reached a consensus to allow the tax levy to be on the May 8th ballot without an increase.
Jenny O'Donnell chairs that subcommittee.
Our first comment is put the inflation back in if you can.
Zoo Director Thane Maynard says he hopes commissioners agree with that thinking.
Over the past 10 years, as our levy proceeds were pushed down 10% per year, our expenses in those key areas are up 54%.
Another recommendation was about the zoo's admissions fees.
Consider raising the admission fee to those people who are outside of the county.
A zoo ticket costs $19 for adults, $13 for children, with a $2 discount if they're bought online. Maynard adds a multi-tiered admission structure is already in place.
Very bargain price for schools. We have lots of funds to help subsidize schools that can't afford it, and the same thing for residents of Hamilton County.
The committee also suggested more money be put aside for zoo maintenance. Maynard says that's a challenge. Work is already underway upgrading the birdhouse. The reptile house was recently remodeled. Underground electrical cables are being replaced. But big projects remain, like the elephant house roof.
Well, we spend $5 million a year on infrastructure, maintenance, and repair. We get after it like nobody's business. But that said, the zoo's almost 150 years old.
Again, right now, this levy would go on the ballot May 8th. The commissioners have to decide if that step is going to be taken. They have to do that by February 7th. But Maynard says it's possible if the inflationary increase were added, he could wait till November, which would be a benefit to the zoo. Tom McKee, not on your side, live in Avondale.
Tom.